Hi, how is everybody doing? This Facebook Live will last about 30 minutes, and we're going to talk about exercise and stress. As a special guest today, we have Carla Urrola, Guatemalan health and fitness professional. My name is Ana Stephanie Munoz. I am a Guatemalan entrepreneur, transformational and stress management coach, and I provide tools to successful people to find happiness. If the sound is okay, please give me a thumbs up and comment below. I have taken into account all the recommendations from our audience to improve the sound, so please let me know if I can do something else to improve. Something new I want to ask you is to tell me what other issues related to stress you would like to know so I can do some research and bring these topics to the table to the Facebook Lives. So, with no further discussion, I want to introduce today to our special guest, Carla. She's a professional in fitness and health, certified facilitator for Mind Valley, and international speaker. She has a degree in nutrition, a diploma in fitness and lifestyle management, and is a certified life coach. Carla specializes in wellness coaching and combines personal development tools with training to achieve lasting changes in the lifestyle and integral health of her clients. For the last 18 years, she has dedicated her life to develop fitness professionals and create fitness programs and certifications for integral health. Additionally, Carla is co-founder of Alive Gimnasio Boutique, as well as founder and director of Equilibrium, a specialized fitness studio with a focus on the integral well-being of the people. I will put Carla's information, contact information below, her website, her Facebook, and her Instagram. So, Carla, welcome today. I don't know if you want to share some words with our audience, please.
Well, just saying hi. It's great to be here. Thanks for the invite. And hopefully, we'll give some light into some of the topics that might be a little controversial, or we might have some doubts in regarding to exercises, or even like sometimes I think that there are really different ideas of how exercise and what type of exercise actually does help reduce stress and anxiety. So hopefully we'll get some clearance on that today.
Excellent, Carla. Thanks so much for your words. And so I want to ask you as a first question, um, if you can explain to us how exercise help us manage stress and anxiety better.
Okay, so if we look at the physiology of ourselves as human beings, um, we are designed to move. So our bodies are designed to move, and even from an evolution standpoint, there's research that actually shows that our brain develops as well as much as we can actually move. So the more we move when we are younger and through our growing years, the better our brains develop, and our bodies were actually our first instrument to get food and to find shelter and to not die, basically. So our brains started developing out of our physical activity. And if we look at our body, at our physiology, we'll see, I mean, our heart is designed to bring the oxygen and nutrients and everything all our cells needs from our body. So muscles in our body as well as our brain. So the more we get that blood flow going in our body, the better our organs, including our brain and our systems, nervous system, hormonal systems, all our systems will be working. So the way that we actually get more blood and get things out, like waste that we don't need in our cells out, is by getting that blood moving. So that is basically movement. So physiologically, it is part of our health maintenance as humans to move. And our brain will be in balance and homeostasis if we actually do give it that oxygen through movement. If we don't move, there's not the same amount of oxygen being released to the brain. And we actually have research right now that the lack of movement will give more risk of developing not only heart disease and obesity and everything and diabetes, but also cognitive disorders and issues with memory, focus, concentration, all that.
Mm. Okay, excellent, Carla. Thanks so much. I think it's very important that we complete these cycles of movement and of oxygenation. I think that's the word.
Yeah,
So we feel good and we breath breathe correctly.
exactly. Yeah.
We, like
Yeah,
this
we
train.
stimulate the oxygen, and if we get oxygen into all our cells and all our systems, then our physiology won't be saying, okay, I'm not getting oxygen. So if you figure like we're not getting enough oxygen and movement, the body goes into like this stress mode because it's feeling that it's not getting what it needs. So it's actually really not like it will help be more stress as if we don't move. So like say we're in the office and we're like, okay, I can't go to the gym because I gotta finish this. And so this is not gonna help a lot. We're just gonna get more stressed and more blocked in our concentration, in the way that our body is feeling. So we're actually going to be less productive in anything that we do if we don't get our bodies integrated into our brain health, basically, and mental health, really.
Exactly, exactly. No, it's amazing how everything is connected and how
Mhm.
we think something, then it affects the body, and then it affects the way we talk and we handle things. Like everything is interrelated, right?
Yeah, totally.
What type of exercise is best suited to manage anxiety? What do you recommend?
Okay. So with exercise, the most important thing, or I think that the thing that will help the most is first is our intention on exercise. If our intention, what will help best is that we're doing exercise and moving because we actually want to feel good. So we really want to feel good about the exercise that we're doing. So ideally, we want something that we like. That would be like the first option, is doing something we really like to do or that we feel good doing, especially if this is what we're looking for to reduce stress and anxiety. So I do get some people that are like, okay, I don't like anything. So, like just look for whatever you dislike less, so it will be less stressful, because otherwise it'll become a stress. It's like, oh God, I gotta go to the gym and I hate the gym. So a lot of it's actually that mindset switch as well. Like if you know that you're doing it because you want to feel better, start looking at what you're doing, even if you don't love it, but it's something that, you go with the mindset that, I am doing this because I want to feel better. And I know this will help me feel better. This will help me manage my emotions. It will, whatever, give oxygen and to my body. It will make me look better. So start looking for the things that you actually do like that exercise gives you, if you don't find exercise exciting as itself, for itself. So
Yeah, and would you recommend for those people who actually really don't find anything they like, or they can't because of a physical or medical condition? What would be the one thing or a few things that you would recommend doing?
okay. If they don't like it, probably anything like, well, we talked about, different types. Like, I mean, sometimes we don't see some exercises as exercise. So we want to make sure that we have all the options. Like just going for a walk in nature is something that is beneficial, and that it's movement. We might not see it as, wow, this is like an exercise routine, but this will actually be, it's like one of the most recommended things for stress management is walking in nature. So you could go out for brisk walks or be more active within your days. Try to walk a little more to different places, or stand around and do some movement in your office. If there's like something that will not allow you to move because you have injuries or you have certain conditions, breath. So breathing deeply, so you're getting that oxygen as much as you can into your body and into your lungs. Breath with some movement, like even if it's just like like some light stretching, movement where you are moving your spine in different directions, so that actually elevates your energy levels. So if you can't really do a lot of exercise, try to do some movement, like even light stretches or very exercise that might not look like much, but just moving your body in different directions. That will stimulate the benefits of exercise. And other types, like going back to your question on types of exercise, if you actually can exercise, if we can do some examples, it's really recommended, like cardiovascular exercises at moderate intensities are pretty much what's more recommended. It doesn't mean that there's other exercises that won't. I mean, there are other types of exercises that will have that effect depending on your personality and your history of exercise. So there's, even though I can recommend, say, okay, walking in nature or exercise that you love, or things like, say, Zumba, or going for bike rides, or if you like, like a spin class, or swimming, for example. So those are exercises that are, proven to manage stress. But if it's something really, it's really important that you actually like what you're doing and that you enjoy it. So even if, like, say, if it's, you love weight training and this actually makes you feel better, and when you get out of the gym, the most important thing is, no matter what you're doing, once you finish, you really want to make sure that you're feeling better off. I mean, you might feel physically tired for a while, but in overall, like in your day, and exercise should be elevating your energy, and you should be able to sleep better. So if the exercise that you're doing is making you feel like really tired, that you can't recover, or it's not letting you sleep, it might not be the correct exercise for your stress management at that point. You have to look at other things that are going on, like, like stress at work, or if you're not sleeping for other reasons, because everything, it's not just a matter of, okay, I'm going to do the right exercise type and, stress is going to go away. It's, of course, all these other factors that are involved. But if you notice that because of the exercise that you're doing, you're noticing that you're in a crankier mood, or you're getting sick a little bit more, or you're having trouble sleeping, or you feel tired and your energy levels are lower, that's not a sign of exercise helping you reduce stress and anxiety.
Exactly. On the contrary, right?
Right. It will actually stimulate the fight or flight nervous system. So it will keep you in chronic stress if it's not the right type of exercise.
Yeah. And more cortisol will come out of your body, and you will be more.
And exactly. Yeah.
Hungry of junk food, for example, or of drinking, or of smoking, or doing some other legal or illegal stuff, right?
Yeah. It'll basically just enhance your stress, behaviors and feelings and symptoms.
Exactly.
If you're not doing it the right way. So
exactly. So great. So you talk yet about the different type of exercise that would be good to manage anxiety. If because we talk, like if you want to be healthy and manage stress better, it's good to do it in moderation. But what about the people in our audience? And I want to ask you guys what type of exercise you do and how often. Because we want to find out, like what's it like for you. Now that Carla talked a little bit, but I want Carla to tell us about people who, train for, I don't know, Ironmans, for marathons, 21K, 42K, because that type of training is very different than what is recommended to handle stress. But as you mentioned, not necessarily because we do and we love it. It is necessarily that our body is what needs right now, especially
right. Yeah.
after 40. Things are very different, and we need to be very compassionate with our body and understand that there's certain things that we shouldn't be doing, or if we do, then we have to have a very good trainer and coach that comes along with us, right?
Yeah. So I always said, I mean, I did I was involved in elite level sports for half my life, and then my work is more like fitness for wellness. So, you know, I can pretty much tell you that exercise as a sport or as an athletic discipline for high performance is not for health. It has other objectives. I'm not saying that they're correct or not correct. It depends on where you are and where you want to go. But these types of exercises will actually um, give, they are riskier. They might have, they actually do have, you will have a higher risk of injuries and injury management that it's involved in it. Of course, if you're looking for an Olympic medal or something, I mean, that is going to be your priority and your job and everything, and you might be willing to take those risks and then manage your health after, and whatever you had to do after. And I can tell you from experience that you kind of have to manage that after you are doing high performance. So it's really important to understand if you're doing exercise as a sport with something else as an objective, as a principal objective as well. You need to take care, because the thing there is, because it's riskier, and it's actually, we're going to talk about like the hormone levels and stuff, but you need longer periods to adjust to it. You need a much more structured plan. You need much better nutrition control. You need to sleep more. So your priorities have to be very oriented into, okay, so this is what you're doing, and this is for this objective, not necessarily a health and wellness objective. So yeah, so I mean, if you are doing exercise for health, it's not that you can't do some intensive workouts and maybe longer workouts, but you really need to understand what your whole life looks like and how you are feeling, and how this type of exercise is affecting your life in the other areas, and also your body. If you're getting sick all the time, you're getting injuries and things like that, then something needs to change. And it's managing. I mean, even like for sports, the stress, it's part of stress management will be to manage your stress with the activity level and the demand that a sport requires. So it's actually harder to manage your stress. I mean, you need other tools, right?
Exactly. To handle them correctly and avoid getting injured or avoid stressing your body more than what you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So please, I want to ask you to share, what exercise you practice and how it has improved your life. And if you're doing high performance sports, how it has improved and how it has been the experience. Because as Carla said, the goal in mind is completely different, and the way you need to prepare your mind, to prepare your body, it's very, very, you need to be very disciplined. It's not, oh, I want to run 21K. There's a lot of things going on there that you need to fulfill in order to do it correctly. So if you can share with us what you have done, it would be great. And while you do this, I want to ask Carla, to manage stress and anxiety, what is the intensity, the frequency, and the time recommended or not recommended to handle stress and anxiety better?
Okay. So with let's go like for each, but if we're going with time, like say time, there's actually studies that show that the best exercise time to make sure that your hormonal system is in balance is 30 to 60 minutes. So it's not recommended to do more than 60 minutes if what you are wanting is hormonal balance, which is basically in tune with stress management and the nervous system balance. So you could do, ideally for stress management, 30 to 60 minutes. You could do this every day if the exercise is moderate. So if you're, biking or going for walks or swimming or, dancing, and it's not, professional dancing. So these types of exercises you could probably do every day. I mean, it is ideal to move every day and to have some sort of movement, even throughout the day, every day. And if you're doing exercises that are more intense, then you should get more rest in between. So if you're doing, like, say, intense weight training exercises or strength training, you need more time to recover to actually even have the physical benefits of it. So right now that we have this high intensity interval training methods that are being used a lot, their recommendation it's mostly, most of the experts will tell you it's 3 times a week tops. If you're really doing it at, above 80% or 70% of your max, and you start doing it more, you will see a decrease in your improvement. So your performance will come down. You will probably be overtrained at some point. So if you are doing intense exercise, it's better to get, a day rest at least in between, and to really listen to your body and see what's going on. Sometimes, yes, if it is too intense and you are having a lot of stress at work, and you are not being good at managing your stress, intense exercise might actually make it worse. So you need to make sure to understand where are you in your life and what is it that you want to get from the exercise that you were doing. So I think we've got the intensity and the time. And then with the frequency, so how many times a week, it depends on the intensity. So if you're doing more intensity, you want to do less times a week, or change it, so you're doing like an intense workout one day, and then you might go for a light walk on the other day. And then really listen and understand, like, what you need at the next day. Like, if I give you my example, like, I know that I can train in pretty intense maybe 2 or 3 times. If I start doing it too close to each other, I will notice my performance go down. Like, I will just not be able to work out as well as I want. So that is a sign that you're not getting the recovery that you want. And of course, yes, over 40, you will need more recovery, and especially women with the hormonal change, it is actually better to start doing less of the really intense, and change it and interchange it by doing, more moderate or mind-body connection exercises that connect your breath to your body, and they're moderate in intensity. Those are exercises that are actually proven to be the most effective for stress and anxiety management.
Excellent, excellent, Carla. I think this is great. I want to ask our audience if they have questions for you besides everything you've already told us. I think we are demystifying some of the beliefs we had regarding to exercise. One of the myths I think we believe is that we needed to do 2 to 3 hours of exercise daily in order to, I don't know, to manage stress better, to have the body we want, to feel better. But thankfully, you're telling us that it's not necessary, and the intensity of it doesn't need to be,
Yeah.
it just needs
Right.
to be moderate.
Yeah, and right now we're getting a lot of information about it having to be really intense, and it's really controversial, because most of the population in the world is sedentary. We're spending 10 hours sitting. A large percentage are not exercising. And then we get these marketing, ideas that we got to go and do like super high intensity, super high weights. And this is, or we got to go running to get better at our health and have a better body. And this is not the case if we haven't done exercise, in a while. We really need to start with low intensity, and we need to start with, the walks and we could do some resistance training, but as well, you need to do it at a slower pace, at a lower weights. And then you could actually get to a moderate, maybe high level, but it's not what we see on a lot of the, advertising that might be for people that have been doing exercise all their life. And then, we're just like, they're looking for, what else. So most of us don't need that much intensity, and we can have healthy bodies and a healthy weight without getting to those extremes, and we will be preventing injuries and fomenting longevity. So if longevity and health is what you want, the intensity does not have to be super high. I mean, you can, expand your limits, and you can, push yourself through something, but always listen to your body. Make sure that, okay, what's going on? Are you getting injured? Are you feeling tired? Are you not having energy for your day? Are you getting cranky with, more cranky with your spouse or your coworkers? Are you not in a good mood? Are you not sleeping? So if you're doing exercise and this is happening, probably the exercise that you're doing, if it's too intense, it might not be working for your stress management and your health in the long run. So, and you can get results. I mean, sometimes you will actually get more results when you step back and because if you're overtrained, you're not going to get results. You're going to get your cortisol up and your testosterone is going to go down. So you're not getting any muscle and you're not losing any fat. So the intensity really depends on where you're at, even like your energy levels in general, as you as a human being from biology, what you like even. So, there's there's a lot more than just, okay, train as hard as you can and that's how you're going to get results. So,
No, it's train smart training.
yeah, exactly.
And I think one of the last thing I want to talk with you about is how important it is to listen to our body and to be compassionate to our body and to
Yeah.
accept where we are in life. We were talking about, after 40, the body starts changing a lot. Well, after 30 already, but after 40, it hits the age, and we believe that we're younger, like when we were 20, and we start treating our body like that, and it's not really good for any of us. What would you recommend in those cases? Like, what are the most important things?
Okay. So, we're saying women, because it will be a more of a change in women and than in men. And so, especially for women and even like for men as well, we do need to take it easier. Yeah. So, depending on where we have been and what we've done before, I mean, we could probably keep doing a little bit less intense from a standpoint of as where we were. But a lot of us are actually saying, okay, I'm 40, I am overweight, I have high blood pressure, I've got cardiovascular risks, and my doctor says I need to exercise. And then, you want to go and play football like you were playing when you were 20.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's not probably the exercise that you're going to need. So even, also men need to make sure that they're exercising and starting at a lower pace, and they're not going to need to go to athletic levels to get the results and from the exercise that we need at that age, which is improving our life quality in these years. So our quality of life is what I think it would be the number one objective at that point of our life. And with women, we also like hormonal changes and things, and we one of the most important things, even for women and men, is we think a lot about the cardio, but the strength part of our training needs to be it's really important, especially for women, because we start losing more bone mass. And intelligent strength training is really important at this age. And I'm not meaning Olympic lifting, which is what is sometimes that we see, and we don't want to lift this like which huge bars, especially women. That's really not good for pelvic floor and for core health as well. But we do want to get some muscle in us. So resistance training is something that we really got to look into for longevity. So after 40, make sure that we're doing some weights. They're not super extreme, but they are making us stronger and getting that muscle mass stable, because also the muscle mass starts going down, and that's actually what affects our mobility in the longer years. So yeah, intensity needs to probably go down. We need to be aware of what we're feeling, and I think the strength training aspect is something that we really want to look into after, as we get older, for sure.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Carla. I believe everything you share with us is amazing, and it's very, very life changing. And for all of us, for those of us who thought about exercise in a very different way prior to this Facebook Live, I invite you to reconsider and analyze how are you doing exercise right now in regards of how your body is right now and how you're if you're being compassionate enough. And I want to thank you guys for your participation. Remember that this recording stays public and you can share it with the people who you believe would benefit from it. Carla is about to start a course soon here in Guatemala. So for those of you who are here in Guate, could you share a little bit about it, Carla?
Yeah. So we're doing a course, which it's a 5 workshop series of yoga for stress and anxiety management. So we are doing every Thursday from 6:30 to 8. We're doing some mindfulness practices, breath practice, as well as movement using yoga as our, primary influence to for 5 workshops, 5 Thursdays, starting this Thursday at 6:30, and we are located at La Pradera, Zona 10, in Centro Comercial La Pradera. So if you want information, I think we've Stephanie put all my information there, so you can send me an inbox, and we will send you the information. So hopefully we can uh, get you doing some movement and some breath work that will help you manage the stress.
Excellent, Carla. Yeah, I really hope you take, if you can, during this Thursday, this coming Thursday, to go. I highly recommend. Carla is an excellent fitness trainer. She understands, and well, as you just saw on the Facebook Live, she really knows how to help you understand your body better and do the correct exercise for your body. And stress management tools is something that we need nowadays because unfortunately, we haven't been able to handle it correctly. So, Carla, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure and an honor to have you here today. And
Thank you.
yeah. And guys, I would like to ask you, what is the biggest challenge you have right now regarding to stress? And what issues related to stress would you like to know more about on this Facebook Live? Please write that below. I will put the questions here so you can tell me what are your concerns, what would you like to know more about, because the idea is that in the coming Facebook Live, I will be look for those topics. And if you were not able to watch the whole Facebook Live, the replay will stay in my profile and it's open to the public, so you can watch it. My name is Ana Stephanie Munoz. I am a Guatemalan entrepreneur, transformational coach, and a stress management expert. So please, if you have any comments or questions, put them below. Carla and I will be revising this Facebook Live on a daily basis in the coming days. So if you have any questions, so we can answer them. And I want to thank you again for watching, Carla, for being here. And
Thank you for inviting me. Really good, a total pleasure for me.
thank you so much. So thank you guys. Have a great night and a very good rest of the week. And hope to see you soon in our next Facebook Live. Take care, guys. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.